Hey everyone, Dr. Daria here. So today I want to talk with you about the left and right side of the brain and the newer brain theory that is becoming the new accepted way we think about the sides of the brain and how this relates to PRI. So this is kind of my understanding and my opinion of this relationship. So there's a researcher, philosopher, Ian McGilchrist, who wrote the book The Master and His Emissary. And I was discussing this with one of my patients, actually, who is a very intelligent person. And we were talking about how the sides of the brain are really different and how that's connected to the sides of our body. And in PRI, the basis of our work is acknowledging the difference between the right and left sides of the body and ultimately the left and right side of the brain. So, a little background. So, we used to think that the left side of the brain, which controls the right side of the body, was the more like analytical, like mathematical side, and that the right side of the brain, which controls the left side of the body, was the more artistic and emotional side. And now that theory has grown and changed. And now we understand that the left side of the brain, which again is the right side of the body, is more what I think of as narrow focused, focused on the next task that needs to happen, focused on concrete things. And Ian McGilchrist describes this really well. He gives the analogy that the left side of the brain and the right side of the body are about grasping. So we grasp with our right hand. We lead with that right hand. We do things with that right hand. Even people who are left handed still have that grasping tendency on the right side. And also grasping concepts like, okay, yes, I get that. I understand it. We, in our culture, in this society that we live in, it's about that concreteness. Like, what's the next logical thing? Do I get it? Does it make sense? Following a known set of rules or no trusting things only when we fully understand them. That's all left brain, right body. The right side of the brain, which controls the left side of the body, is more big picture. So if you think of the left brain, right body as kind of narrow focused, kind of honed in, the right brain, left body is the big picture, that peripheral vision, that wide openness, that sort of intuition, that gut feeling, that understanding, that universal knowing, if you will. So it's that sensory experience of expansiveness and openness. And these concepts are a lot harder for us because of that dichotomy, right? All the language centers, or most of the language centers, are in the left side of the brain, which again control the right side of the body. So we have words. We can talk about and explain and make sense of those topics. Whereas those bigger, vaster topics like intuition, understanding, getting a feeling for something, that's harder for us to put into words. And so that can end up in us not thinking those things are real. So a lot of my patients sometimes get frustrated with me because I always ask them, what are you feeling? Or do you feel that? Or how does that feel? And we're really trying to tap into that sensory experience, which, to be honest, in our lifestyle these days, we really just don't do very often. We're not tuned into what we're feeling, how we're breathing. We just disconnect from that when we're focused on a screen or when we're focused on our work and all those little next logical step sort of things. So in PRI, what we're really trying to do is not make one side be wrong and one side be right. We need both of those. We need both of those parts of our brain to be a happy, functioning, normal human being, a successful human being. However, like I mentioned earlier, because of our lifestyle, because of that driven, skeptical, achieving part of our society that's ingrained in us, all of us are going to be more dominant in that left brain and right body. So PRI is, to me, and my understanding of it is, how can we tap into that other side of you so that you can shift into the other side of your body just as well as you shift into the right side of your body, the left brain? Can you go both ways, and can you access those excellent qualities that we need in both sides of us? So, this is a little bit of a more heady topic, but stuff that I love to think about and talk about. So, if you find this interesting, or if you have a different opinion about this, drop me a comment below, and make sure you like this video and subscribe if you haven't already so that you continue to get updates on more stuff like this. Thanks for tuning in.